Okay, welcome to the getting started on the 410 Panasonic mixer that we have here. So this mixer is really great and really powerful. Heaps you can do with it. However, it has got quite an intensive settings menu. So we're going to have a quick look at getting the basics up today. So first off, I'll start with configuring your outputs to send what you want to different screens. So we've got our menu mode on. And you've got a few menu modes here, so you've got just different sizes of menus. So I'll just stick with that one for now. So I'm going to click this in-out button to switch between my input and output menu. I'm going to go to output, and then I'm going to I'm actually scrolled down a bit. So you can use this knob to scroll through your options, and then for each column, each knob, you can scroll through, click what you need to. So I'm going to select SDI out 1, and please, I want to assign that program. And maybe let's say SDI out 2. Please, let's send that aux 1. So just like that, whatever's connected to SDI out 1 will be getting my program feed from my switch, and I can go to my aux bus. I'll go more into that in a minute, and select what is going out to my second out. Now let's talk about how to get things coming in. So the input menu on this, again, the in-out button, menu button, and you can select which input you're looking at, and you've got a few settings there that you can name things, and you have some control over things like video gain and pedestal and whatnot. However, that really doesn't give you a lot of options as to what you really need to do. So you want to go, XPT is CrossPoint, so you're cutting. If I actually hold this down, it'll show up a menu of what's in. So if you hold down any button on your switcher, it'll show you the patching. But we're going to go to our CrossPoint menu and set this up. So we've got CrossPoint and Multiview on the same button. So this is where this desk really sort of needs someone who knows just how to set this up. So I'm in my Multiview at the moment, so I'm going to split across to CrossPoint. And here you can change what different inputs are doing on your different buttons. And you also have, if you hold down the shift button, you've got even up to 23, 24 options, which is a bit nuts for what we usually need. But so you've got, let's say on my first button, SDI 1, then let's make that SDI 2, 3 and so forth, 3 and 4. Now on 5 and 6, I'm actually going to go for in A1, because we have on the back a DVI card there in slot A. So check that is a, yes, that is slot A. Sorry. So that is in A1, slot A, option 1, and then I'll make this in A2, and then this one, I think we have one DVI in that's native to the mixer. And then, heck, I don't know, whatever can go here. Maybe a still. Actually, color bars. It's never bad to have color bars for testing, especially for now. So what's that? 8 gives me color bars. Fantastic. Cool. So that's that bit there. Now, as I said, number 8 is color bars, and that's showing up. Actually, it's showing up that that's aux 3, so it's not even showing on our Multiview. So we're going to want to set up our Multiview by going to our Multiview option in our menu buttons. And with the Multiview, position 1 and position 2 are your two big ones at the top. So we usually have those as preview and program. That's standard default for pretty much anywhere you go, so unless you've got a reason to change that. So we'll be starting input 1 of our cross buttons. Will be, this is where we're going to want input 1, which is the third position in our CrossPoint, in our Multiview bit. So we've got SDI 1 there, SDI 2, fantastic. So in what I was saying before, I have to scroll down, then this will be 3. Actually, you can see as I scroll that it's the third one that's changing. So SDI 3 please, SDI 4 in 6, then we wanted our 1 and 2 in A1, and oh, sorry, phone's doing funny things. No, in A1, in A2 please. There we go. Scroll down more. Now you can also set these to be to show your aux outs and buses. So if I'm doing a Zoom, I'll often have, my laptops and cameras, and then I might have the Zoom bus or a Notes bus, the aux send, so I can see what's going on to everywhere and get a full picture of everything that's happening. So for now, I will just have these as inputs. I'll scrap it being auxes, but you can quite easily do that, as you can see, or even a clock. So I will set this as I did to DVI in and position 10. That last bottom one we wanted to be color bars. Where do I find them? Oh, my phone keeps going black. Position 10. Doesn't matter for now. So that's how you set up your Multiview. I'm going to just cover quickly the bus and aux switching routing in this Panasonic 410. So for picture-in-pictures, you've got picture-in-picture 1, picture-in-picture 2. I'll talk about them in a minute, but you're able to select what's going to each picture-in-picture. And if I had one of the picture-in-pictures on, say that might be camera, and then perhaps 4 could be my PowerPoint, being able to have that bus and just quickly sort of in-show switch between crossing, so PowerPoint's background and camera's picture-in-picture one time, and then be able to just quickly switch is a really useful tool. As I said, we'll talk about the picture-in-picture settings in a minute. Key and downstream key I won't cover. You can Google those if you find a need for them, but that is usually beyond our basic use. And then you've got your aux buses. So again, you can switch easily to which source you're sending to an aux. However, where it starts to get really useful on this desk is you're also able to send Multiview, Preview, or Program to an aux, which just really opens up the possibilities. For instance, if I'm doing a live stream with a component in the room, I could have my switching going to my stream, because I'm probably going to want to go cameras and do a far more intensive vision aspect for an online audience, whereas in room I might have just PowerPoint going to the screen the whole time, and then I'm still able to switch as I would for the show and picture-in-pictures and whatnot to go to my online audience. So I can also send, as I said, the Multiview Preview Program. So I could send, if aux2 was going to stream, I can send them Program and then sort of have my main switching, and then perhaps, lunchtime comes up, I want to send them just a hold slide while perhaps there's other stuff going on in the room that's not appropriate to go online. So being able to select an aux and then choose what is being sent to it is a super powerful thing. Now, also, you may have noticed before that I had my Multiview on the screen. If you hit the display button here, it actually selects what's going to the screen here. Now, it does link to an aux though, so you have to. There's a setting somewhere in the depths of the desk. We'll keep it on aux 4, being the last of the auxes you typically start using 1, 2, and 3 first. So using 4 for the desk is probably a wise call. So as you can see, if I'm in aux 3 and I hit display, it switches back to aux 4 that is being selected, which is just something to be very mindful of if you're running a show using that aux, in that if you hit the display button and start switching things, you're going to be sending that somewhere else as well if you've got it patched out the back of your desk. But to be able to quickly select or preview individual sources is so handy on the desk itself. And you can always have a multi-view set up, just going straight out of in your output settings. So if I select my output menu and then let's say I want to select SDI2, sorry, in the wrong knob, and then I can always select, program preview, multi-view, and I can set that to be a dedicated out all the time if I've got a preview monitor or something. However, the ability to also send it to stage if we've got someone presenting and they want to see cameras, holding slides, notes, the whole shebang of what's coming up and what's going on, is also a really useful option to be able to do in the wonderful world of production. So now I'd like to go into picture-in-picture settings. So you pip your little small video cutouts. On this desk, you can activate them over here. This is where you turn them on and off, but let's talk about setting them up. First of all, you've got your picture-in-picture buses here. So you can select for picture-in-picture 1, I'd like to take source 1. For picture-in-picture 2, let's say I'd like to take source 3. Now, our picture-in-picture menu is right above our multi-view menu button. And if we press that button multiple times, you can see we're scrolling through picture-in-picture 1 and picture-in-picture 2 settings menus. So if I just deal with picture-in-picture 1 now, I haven't got anything plugged in at the moment, so it's not going to be the most visually exciting thing, but I'll be able to show you the main settings that you need to be aware of. So obviously scroll with your left knob, you're able to click and change shapes, but I see no reason why you need anything other than a square, unless we're getting very artsy. Now, a lot of the time the picture-in-picture defaults to not previewing, so this is really useful if you're trying to set one up or have one ready to key, but you might be using your preview bus to run some screens as a sort of aux bus situation. So you are able to turn on the preview using your last button, clicking on it when you're on the first row of the menu. So when it's on, you'll actually get the preview. So if I set this up before with bars on picture-in-picture 1. Sorry, picture-in-picture 1, I set up color bars on that. So you can see now where picture-in-picturing is coming up in our preview. I'll just show the smaller desk, and if I click off, it comes on and off. Now that's on preview, and even if I switch my sources, it's still only in preview because you need to activate the picture-in-picture key button to send it to program. So I'm going to press that and turn it off. Now, you're also able to scale and position. You can actually use the little bar here to send that around, and I think you can zoom with it as well. Yeah, it is zooming, but it might be nice to get a proper knob on that. As well, you can trim, as in crop the image. So we'll set, you can do a default 4:3 sort of cropping to make life easy, or you can go manual. And you can use these controls to trim in how much of the image is being cut or not. So you've got a range from -50 to +50, so basically 100% of the image, as opposed to a pixel value. You're dealing with a percent of the width that you're cropping. So for instance, my bottom is currently, so you can also click on these, and so if I click on bottom, when it highlights, I can then type in, say, -25, oops, 22, that'll do. and then when I hit enter, it applies that value to the selected thing. So it can save you a lot of time from scrolling. If I just want to go straight to 33, there we go, enter, and have cropped something. So I'll just revert that to being full 50, and you can see the rest of my blue pops up there. So that's a really useful tool to be able to use, and knowing how to activate it so you can preview and change those settings is super important. Okay, so one last function I'm going to talk about in this quick video, and that is how to set a hold slide, which is obviously something I do a lot. So I'm using color bars, as you've already seen, because I don't have a lot set up today. And you want the VMem, so the video memory menu, and then we can scroll through and select, okay, please take from, I want this to save to still 1. I've actually already got color bars on aux 3 sending through, which is why you're seeing aux 3 being color bars on my screen here. And then all you need to do is go up and hit execute. Oh no, menu came up. So OK, F1, so function button 1. You can actually scroll down and you see we've got record lock. So that's stopping us from recording. So if I click that off and now go up and hit execute, you can see that now I have that still in my saved as an image. So I can now go to black. If I go to my 8th option, there is my color bars. And they're not coming through from the aux, because I can switch that aux, which was on color bars before. And so that's how you get a holding slide. And then just remember that you need to go into your CrossPoint and Multiview display options to display it and assign it to which button you would like it to be on. There we go. That is pretty much a summary of the 410, everything you need to know to run a show, a basic show, and good luck. Give me a call if you need any advice, any help. Always happy to help.